Meet astronaut Eileen Collins. Eileen Collins was born in 1956 in Elmira, New York. As a young girl, she became fascinated with flight and watched as America's space program grew. She dreamed of one day being an astronaut herself. After she graduated from Syracuse University, Collins decided to join the Air Force. In 1979, she became one of just 4 women selected to train as a pilot at Vance Air Force Base in Oklahoma. Collins excelled as a pilot, and she worked for the next decade as a flight instructor. She also taught mathematics at the United States Air Force Academy in Colorado. After graduating from the Air Force Test Pilot School in 1990, Collins was selected by NASA to train as an astronaut. She officially became an astronaut in 1991. For the next 4 years, Collins held various jobs with NASA, but she did not travel into space. That changed on February the 3rd, 1995, when Eileen Collins became the first female to pilot a NASA space mission. Piloting the Space Shuttle Discovery, she spent 8 days in space and helped complete a successful rendezvous between Discovery and the space station Mir. Collins would go on to visit space 3 more times, piloting the Space Shuttle Atlantis in 1997 and serving as NASA's first female commander on space missions in 1999 and 2005. In all, Collins logged over 872 hours in space during her career at NASA. She helped deploy the Chandra X-ray Observatory, an orbiting telescope that helped scientists study black holes, supernovae, and distant galaxies. In addition to twice connecting with Mir, she also commanded a mission in which the shuttle docked with the International Space Station. Eileen Collins retired from NASA in 2006. So here's her biographical information. You see that she's from Elmira, New York. Look at all that education. An associate's in math, that's a 2-year degree. A bachelor's degree in math from Syracuse, that's a 4-year degree. And then a master's degree in operations research in Stanford. And then another master's degree in space systems management, Webster University. That kind of sounds cool. And then here's her spaceflight experience. Piloted Discovery, STS-63, because became the first female shuttle pilot, 93. Piloted the Atlantis, STS-84, in 1997 to the Mir space station. And she was commander of Columbia, STS-93. Collins became the first female shuttle commander on this 1999 mission. And then we have the article that we're going to be reading for today. Eileen Collins, NASA's first female shuttle commander to lead the next shuttle mission. And this, as you can see up here on the date, is from October the 4th, 2003. On her last mission, Eileen Collins became the first and currently only female shuttle commander. On her next, she will command the historic STS-114 return to flight mission, the first after the Columbia tragedy. Do you guys remember? Well, you wouldn't remember, but have you heard about the Columbia tragedy? It was quite something. On becoming an astronaut, when I was very young and started reading about astronauts, there were no women astronauts, unquote. However, she was inspired while she was a child by the Mercury astronauts. They were the first ones to go into space back in the very early 60s. And by the time she was in high school and college, new opportunities were opening up for women in aviation. Quote, "My timing was really great," she said. Collins joined the Air Force, and during her first month in training, her base was visited by the newest astronaut class, the first one to include women. And her path was set. Quote, "I wanted to be a part of our nation's space program. It's the greatest adventure on this planet, or off the planet for that matter. I wanted to fly the space shuttle." On being the first and only female shuttle commander, hopefully not for long. While the distinction of being the first is an honor, Collins said she's looking forward to losing that part about being the only female commander. She said she hopes current astronaut Pam Melroy will soon join her and that more will follow. I'm really pulling for her. Collins said she encourages young women to become test pilots so they can someday become shuttle commanders as well. The young people are going to be the ones to take us on more exciting adventures. On her advice for future astronauts, my advice to young people is go into the field you are most interested in. If you love your job, you'll do well in your job. So while coming from a mathematics, science, or technology background is a must, there's a lot of variety in what exactly you can pursue. In fact, Collins discourages people from looking at what other astronauts are in and choosing that. The exact opposite worked for her. Let me try that again. When she joined the Corps, there were no astronauts in her field, operations research. I said, I think I can fill a void, and I think they bought it. It's paid off too, she said, since much of her background lies in directly to the operation of the shuttle. On the most exciting thing about spaceflight, if you had asked me this question after my first mission, I would have said the launch. Now, I would say seeing the successful completion of the mission. As an example, she cited the first mission she commanded, STS-93, on which the Chandra X-ray Observatory was deployed. There were so many people involved in the Chandra project and the launch, she said, and it's been really rewarding seeing the amazing pictures that Chandra has taken. Everybody came together and made it happen. On her upcoming first visit to the International Space Station, ISS, she said, it's hard to wait. I'm so excited. In fact, she said, the opportunity to visit the ISS is why she decided to keep flying at a point in her career when many astronauts retire from spaceflight. I had never gone to the station, and I really wanted to go there. I really wanted to be part of the station mission. On the future of spaceflight, she said, I would like to see more people traveling to space someday. I would like to see space tourism blossom. It's such an incredible experience. Collins said that during her space flights, there is so much she has to do that there is little time to just enjoy being in space. Someday I'd like to go into space as a tourist and have the time to have some fun. She's very interested in developments in the field of civilian spaceflight, such as the X Prize competition. I just think that's really exciting. That's an experience that more people ought to have. I think we'd have a better community on Earth if more people traveled in space. On our upcoming return to flight mission, we're very excited. We're very confident. While they're waiting for their next flight, Collins said, her crew has been involved in research on making the space shuttle more safe and has been visiting the factories involved in the space shuttle program and meeting the workers. When the shuttle's ready to fly, we'll be ready to fly. That's the article.